I have been telling you that once you understand the basic of HTML and CSS, it will be like a piece of a cake to design a website using CSS framework like Bootstrap. Because most of the components like navigation bar, carousel or sliders, buttons, cards, pop-ups or modals, alert and a lot of things are already made. You just need to know the classes to use them in your design, and you can create a stunning responsive website in no time. And in this course, you will be designing a homepage of a social networking site. So without further ado, let's start this course.
Hello everyone, I am Vijay Thapa and welcome to this course. And this course is completely beginner friendly, so anyone can join this course, but it will be more easier if you already know the basic of HTML and CSS, because Bootstrap itself is a collection of CSS classes, so it will make you easier to understand how the Bootstrap components are made. And the main aim of this course is to learn to use the Bootstrap component in our website design project so that we can complete the project in short time. With that, let's set up the project and follow the Bootstrap documentation. And as always, I always start the web design project with idea mapping, which is simply like generating the rough sketch of a website design that we want to create. Usually I use paper and pencil or pen to design the first rough sketch. You can use professional tools like Sketch, Figma or Photoshop. And here I have just created a rough sketch of a website design that we are going to create. So if we see the layout of this website design, I have broken down into 3 different sections. First one is navigation bar, and the second one is main content section, and the third one is footer. Okay, so in the first section we will have logo on the left and followed with other primary links like home, about, contact, etc. And on the right we have search bar and search button, and here we'll display the profile of a user that is logged in. And when we click on that profile, we will have more options to choose, like view the post, view analytics, or view comments, settings, and logout, etc. And if you go to our main section or middle section, we will have 3 different columns. So we'll break the whole section into 3 columns. The first left column will have summary of a user, like profile, image, and then full name, description, and stats like how many followers they have, how many posts they made, and something like those. And here we will have topics that the user is interested in. So here we list the topics of the users, and at the bottom we will have a link where when clicked will display the full profile of a user. And in the middle column we will have the main section like on Facebook or Twitter. First we will have a form to submit the post or feed here, and followed by that we will display the lists of posts made by the user as well as other user. And on the right side we will have recommendations, user recommendation, where the user, logged in user, can follow other users. First we will try to display the name or profile of 5 different user, and at the bottom we will have a button to explore more users. And after that we'll display or we'll have a section to display the trending post. We'll list 5 most trending posts in this section, and at the bottom we'll have a button to go to a page where we can display or where we can see all other trending posts. Okay, so that's the rough sketch, and based on this we will design a website using Bootstrap framework. Okay, so now let's set up the project. For that I will be using Visual Studio Code. You can use any text editor you like. So let's create the project. For now I will go to open button or open section, and I'll create a project on desktop. I will create new folder. I will call it Bootstrap, Bootstrap social app. That's it, and then click on create, and Bootstrap social app, open. And here we have our empty app, I trust this author. Let's maximize it, and I'll just close it for now. And here we will create an index file. So I'll click on this file, add file, new file icon, and here I'll call index.html. That's it. So this will be our main file for the homepage of our social media web app, and followed with that I will create 2 more folders to save, one to save images and one to save custom CSS. So I'll click on this new folder button or icon. I will call it images, and then let's create another one as well. So not inside the images, so I'll just click outside and then click on folder CSS. That's it, and let's create a CSS file inside this folder as well. So I'll just click on this folder and create click on new file, and I will call it style.css. So that's it. Now we will work on index.html file. To make this design, we will completely follow the documentation of the Bootstrap, and I will show you how you can fastly make the web design using already made templates or already made components of Bootstrap. So let's go to the documentation of Bootstrap. So I'll go to my browser. So this is Chrome browser on incognito mode. So I'll go to get Bootstrap. I'll search for get Bootstrap. So that's it, and search. Once you search, you will get link getbootstrap.com. So getbootstrap.com, and then click on docs, and here we will have introduction section, and here customize and layout, and here are all the components you can have, like accordions for FAQ, alert, badge, breadcrumb, button, card, carousel, a lot of things. You don't need to create from the zero level. A lot of things are already made. You just need to use it. You just need to learn to use it and customize it. We have forms and a lot of tools. So let's get started with the Bootstrap. So I will just copy the code. As I always told you, we will be learning to use the Bootstrap. So most of the part we will just copy paste the code snippet, and we will customize it and make the website as per our need. Okay, so here this is the basic template. This is the template with JavaScript. So let's start with this one. So I'll just click on copy to clipboard. So you just click on copy here, and then let's go back, and here in our index.html I'll paste it here, command V or control or V, and Bootstrap demo. This is the title section. In title section I will just delete the Bootstrap demo, and I'll call it Bootstrap social app, and you can give your name, like I will give Thapa. You can give your own name, and let's go to the body section. So this is the body section. So here we will be designing all of our things, and this is hello world. So I will save it. You can press Ctrl and S or Command and S and go back to your browser. So here I will open the HTML file of the project. So I'll just drag and drop the index.html file over here. You can just drag and drop from your folder, and it will open. So hello world. So I will maximize it. Let's go back here, and instead of hello world, hello social CIL app, save it, Command and S or Control S, go back to browser and refresh, hello social apps. So this validates that our project is set up correctly. Now we will follow the idea mapping structure or raw sketch that we saw earlier, and based on that we will design our website. Okay, so let's see once more the design or rough sketch that I made. So here we have first section, navigation bar, main content section, and then footer. So let's go back to our code editor. I will go to code editor. I think I will want this one at first, and then browser, here browser. So as we saw earlier, we have 3 different sections in this rough layout. As always, we have navigation bar, main content, and footer. So let's design our Bootstrap design based on this sketch. Okay, so here I will start with a comment. So always make a habit of writing a comment, because when the project gets bigger, it's real difficult to get back to different sections. And also sometimes when you come back, or when you want to look your project after 6 months or 1 year, it will be really difficult to check the specific section. So I always recommend to write comment when you are starting or learning to design or code. So the way to comment, write a comment in HTML is angle bracket open, and then exclamation sign, and two hyphen at the end, ending with closing angle bracket. Okay, so that's it. So I will say navigation section starts here. I'll just copy it and paste it below it, and I will say ends here, and I'll just copy, let's write navigation, and I'll just copy it and Control and C, or Command and C, and go down and paste it here, and once again go down and paste it here. Okay, so let's give a 2-line break. Here also 2-line, and navigation, and this one will be main content section starts here, main content ends here, main content, and then we have footer. So this is also footer, this is also footer, and I think I missed E, section, and section. Okay, so that's it. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S or Command S and refresh. We have navigation, main content, and footer. Don't worry, we will design. We just created a layout, or we just divided, or we just created the sections for our website. Now we will need to design. We will start with navigation section, so I'll just remove the navigation, and let's go to Bootstrap documentation. And following the Bootstrap documentation, we will go to, let's go to component. If we scroll component, you will see navs and navbar. So we'll go to navbar, and there you can read the documentation. If this is your first time, I recommend you to read the things written in this documentation, and then we will search for the one which is good for us. So there are different versions of navbar. You can just go around and look at it. So it shows like how to add the brand name, or how to replace the name with image, or name and image, and different versions of navbar. Look at this. This is just a search from in navigation bar, and link, and a lot of different things. You can see a lot of different things, even the color schemes with the change of this BG dark or BG primary. Primary means blue color, dark means black color. So the Bootstrap has 4 main different color. So if we go to helpers and color and background, so these are the main color of Bootstrap. This one is primary, this is secondary, this is success, and this is danger, this is warning, and this is info, this is light, and this is dark. So this is the color default color palette by Bootstrap. And by changing just the name, like primary, secondary, success, it changes a lot of different things. So we will use those in buttons, navigation bar, etc. Okay, so right now we were in navbar, so I'll go back to navbar. And if we go and check our sketch, so here we have logo, link, a search button, and then user profile. Okay, so we will use the similar one. So I think the first one is the most similar one, because it has name or logo on the left, and then link, and then search. We don't have user profile, but we can add it later. So I'll just copy it for now. Click on this clipboard icon, and it will be copied. It shows copied. And let's go back to navigation, and here I will paste it, Command and V. So it's pasted. Let's save it, Command and S or Control and S, and let's go back. So I'll go to Bootstrap and I'll refresh it. Now you can see navigation bar. Our navigation bar is fully created. So this is how easy it is to design a website using CSS framework like Bootstrap. If we had to write HTML and CSS code for this, it would take nearly 15 to 20 minutes just to create with CSS, HTML and CSS, but it's really easy. Now we need to customize it. Let's not make the navigation bar of full width. Instead, let's start from here. So we'll add container in our HTML CSS video. I think we added a wrapper to make it in the center, or we to leave some space on left and right. And here if we go, we have div class called container fluid. This means this will create a navigation bar of whole page or any section of whole page. But if we remove the fluid, like let's go remove fluid, and it will add some space inside the navigation section. Okay, so if we refresh it, so now we have space on left and right. So this is the one we are looking for. We can also go to the Bootstrap documentation, and if we look at, let's say, container, let's say default container or container fluid, you can just come here and read the documentation about container or container fluid. So the easiest way to understand is, so here let's say wide until small breakpoints, large extra breakpoint, wide until extra large breakpoint. So all of things you can read over here. So the easiest way to understand between container and container fluid is that when we use container fluid, it will add the content all till the edges of the screen. But when we have container, we will have space on left and right. Okay, so that's the easiest way to understand container and container fluid, and we can use container on every section or every divs. Okay, so that's it. Now let's customize it. What I want to do is, let's remove the name of this, so we can call it navbar. So let's go to our text editor, and if we go here, we have, here is the navbar. So here we can change the name. Let's call it social app, and let's save it. Command and save it. Control and S or Command and S. Refresh. Now the name is changed. Home, about, or pages. We can call it anything. So let's rename it. So here if we go, home is home. Let's call it about, and here is the drop down. So drop down, let's call the drop down pages, and we will change it later, pages, and let's call it disabled or contact. Okay, so let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S. Let's go back and let's refresh. Now we are home, about, pages, and contact. Okay, contact is disabled. So here you can see enabling disable. If we remove it, it will be clickable. Okay, so before it was not clickable. If we refresh it, it's clickable now. Okay, so that's it. Now we have search bar over here and the search text. Now we'll add a user profile over here and the drop down. Since we have drop down in our menu section over in our navigation bar, we will reuse the same navigation section in here, and then only use the drop down part. Okay, so let's go back to our code, and when we go back to our code, we have our menu. So the menu usually starts from UL, this one to this one. Okay, so I'll just create a gap, UL to UL, and after the form, this is the source form, and let's add comment over here as well. So I'll add a comment. So the shortcut to create a comment is to press command and slash or control and slash. So I'll say search bar starts, and I'll just copy it and paste it at the bottom of the form. Control C, Control V, search bar ends, and let's go back to this is navigation bar, and after that we will use user profile, Control V, and so this is user profile, profile, user profile starts, and copy, Control C, after that Control V, ends, and here we will create the drop down for user profile. Now we need to use this drop down from our navigation bar. So I will copy from UL tag here. So this is the main menu or navigation bar for our menu section, primary menu section, which is this part. So let's go back, and I'll just copy UL to UL, Control C or Command C, and then go back down in our user profile section, and here I'll paste it by pressing Control and V or Command and V. Okay, so that's it. So this is our user profile. This will be our user profile. Let's save it and go back to our browser, and if I refresh it, we have the whole menu same as this one. Now we'll remove home, about, and contact, and we'll only show the drop down section. Okay, so let's go back to our code. Now we need to remove home and about, so I'll just delete it, copy and delete, and we also don't need contact, so I'll remove it and then save it, Control and S, Command and S, and let's go back to our browser, and when I refresh it, we only have one drop down. Okay, so let's call it username. Let's rename pages to username. So I'll go back and pages to username, and then let's give different links or different pages or different section, different menu for our user. So user can go to profile, and another one will be like posts, and let's create another one as well. Control and C or Command and C, and then paste, and this will be settings. That's it, and then this one will be, let's say, logout. Okay, so here we have divider. If we go back and see, we have a divider. So at the end I want logout option, so I'll call it logout. Now save it, Control and S and Command and S. Let's go back and refresh. Now we have username, and when we click on here, we have profile, post, settings, and logout. So this is how easy it is to design a whole navigation bar. Now we will replace the text username with some user profile icon, and also social app with a logo. Okay, let's go to our browser, and here I usually use icons 8 for free icons. So you can go to icons8.com and just search. First let's search logo for our app. So here I will just search for, you can search for any type of icon you want, but I will search for chat, or you can call it a comment as well. And I think I like this one. This is quite good, so I will just click in here and I will download it. We can click on download, and I will use the largest free option, which is 96 by 96. All other options are paid only, so I'll uncheck this one, 48 by 48 and 96 by 96. We will download. Okay, so I'll click on that and download, and it will pop up option on where to download. I will go to, I think, desktop and Bootstrap, social app, and images. I will just rename it to logo. Let's save, and one downloaded. Let's download user icon as well, so I'll press enter and user. So you can download any profile you want. Which one should we download for now? I think let's go with this one. Okay, so I'll just download, click on download, and let's go to 96 by 96, uncheck 48 by 48 and download, and it will be downloaded. Let's go to desktop, Bootstrap, social app, images, and then let's call it user. Okay, user, and let's save it. That's it. And now we need to use in our logo and username section. So let's go back to our code, and if we go at the top where our app name is added, here we will remove this text, and I will press enter, and here with the image tag, which is img, we will add the logo image. Okay, so angle bracket open, img src is equals to where we have images and folder images. Inside images we have logo.png, so let's call it images slash logo .png. After that we will also add alt tag, which is really important for search engine optimization as well as on usability. So that's it, and then alt will be, let's say, social app. That's it. Let's close it by pressing angle bracket close. That's it for now. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S and Command and S. Let's go back to our browser and let's refresh. Now we have the logo, but it's a bit large, so we will use our inline CSS or custom CSS to manage the height of the logo. Okay, so for that we will use style, and then here we will give the custom height, and I will give a custom height of 36 pixel, and let's save it. Command and S, Control and S. Let's go back and let's refresh. Now it looks a perfect size. So this is how easy it is to make with Bootstrap, and I also told you it will be easier if you understand basic of HTML and CSS. This is the CSS code. So with just one line of code or one attribute, we just change it. So to customize the Bootstrap default options, we need to know the basics of CSS as well. Okay, so now let's add the user profile over here as well. So in username, let's go to username. Where is username? So if we go down here, we have username, same as our logo. I will remove it and add the image tag img, and then src is equals to images slash user dot png. Okay, so that's it, and here we'll give alt tag username. I will call it username, and that's it. We might need to give the custom height for it as well. So let's go back to browser and let's refresh it. So here you can see it is a big, so we'll give a custom height to it as well. So let's give style tag, and then height is equals to, same as before, we'll give 36 pixel, so it will be of same size. Now let's go back to browser and let's refresh it. Now it looks perfect. So user profile, when you click on user profile, it shows the drop down as well. So now we have successfully created the navigation bar for our social media web app. Now we need to create a main content section. Now let's go to main content section. Okay, so let's go back, and in our main content section I will remove in, and I will start with a section tag. Okay, so section, we also have section, similar to div, we have section tag. Here we will create a main section, so I'll press enter and I'll call it main section, and let's save it and let's go back and let's refresh. Now we have main section and footer at the end. So main section is over here, and inside it if we look at our design rough sketch, what we have is we have 3 different columns. So to make that, we will use Bootstrap grid layout. In Bootstrap we have, let's go to the documentation. In Bootstrap we usually first let's see the design, and I will try to make you understand based on this whole screen. Okay, so the Bootstrap layout is like the whole width of the screen is 100%. In previous HTML and CSS courses I have told you that the whole screen width is 100%, and when we wanted 2 different sections or 2 different columns, we divided it into 50%, or 70 and 30%. We just gave the custom width like 70-30, 60-40, 50-50, or 30-30-30, 33-33-33, or 25-25-25. 4 times 25 is 100%. In the previous HTML CSS courses we created a grid or column like that way, but in Bootstrap the whole screen is divided into 12 different columns. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 12. So whole screen is 100% is equals to 12 columns. Okay, so if we want to divide the whole screen into 2 different sections, then we need to give 6 column and 6 column, right? And if we want to give it like 3 columns, then we need to give it 4 4 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So 3 columns is, we need to give 4 columns. We need to merge, we need to give, or we need to merge 4 columns to give to make 1 column. So 4 4 4 4. Like similarly, if we want 4 different columns, then we need to give 3 3 3 3. So 3 times 4 is 12. So whole section is 12, and based on that we need to divide, or we need to merge different columns to make it 12 or 100%. Okay, so if we go to the documentation, I try to make you understand in really easy way, but still if you have any confusion, then you can either comment in the comment box, or just go to the documentation, and in layout section you will see the Bootstrap layout. Okay, so if we go to grid, so here number of columns is 12, and if you just want three different three equal columns, you can just add col, and you have a lot of options. So if you want to break it in certain device layout, then you will have to use XS for smaller screen size, SM, MD, LG, XL, and XSL. Okay, in our HTML CSS course we have used a media query to break down the layout for smaller screen size, and similarly in Bootstrap we have this term like XS, SM, MD. Okay, MD like this one. So you can read about the columns over here. Col MD 8 4, 8 times 4. So for example here column 8 and 4 is 12. Okay, so col MD 4, col MD 4, 8 and 4 12, and here col MD 4 and col MD 4, col MD 4 is 12. So that's it. I try to make you understand in an easy way. So let's go to our main content section and we will work on this. It will be more clear once we start designing it. Okay, so in order to create a column, first we need to create a row. So I'll create a division div, and then inside a div, so this will be div is equal div class is equals to row. We need to give the class as row, and inside this row div, so this one is div open, div close, and here we will have columns. Okay, so let's call div, and let's give class is equals to col, and then we need to give the screen size where we want to break the design into responsive design. So I will give as mediums, and let's call it 6 for now. I'll just create 3 equal or 3 not 3. Let's create 4 equal sections. So I will copy it, control paste, and control V. And to make you understand, so let's give the border here. So I'll add style tag, style border, and 1 pixel solid red, same as in our previous HTML CSS course. So we will use this border for guidelines, and here let's paste it, and I will say let's create some space, and I will say this is column 1, column, let's say column 2, and column 3. Okay, so 4 4 4 is 12. So let's save it and let's go back, and if I refresh it, so we have 3 different columns, but all the columns are of same size. Okay, so let's say I want to make the first one column a little bit smaller and other 2 column a little bit bigger. Okay, so if I want that, then we can go back to our design, and here instead of giving percentage sign, what we can do is let's make it 2. Now since this was 4 and we made it 2, we need to distribute the remaining 2 columns into these 2. So if I make it 5 and 5, this will be 5 5 10, and 2 is 12, and let's save it. Let's go back, and if I refresh it, now this one is smaller, this one and this one are same size. And if we go back again, and if I want to make this one smaller, then what I can do it same as before. What I can do is I can make this one of 2 column, and since this was 5, now I need to add rest of the 3 into this one. So I will have to make 8. Okay, so 8 times 2, 8 plus 2 plus 2, 8 times 8 plus 2 10, 10 plus 2 12. Okay, so if I save it and go back here, and if I refresh it, now this one and this one are smaller because both of our column 2, and this one is of 8 column size. So I hope I tried to make you understand in really easy way. So this is the easiest way to make you understand. And let's talk about this MD. Okay, so MD. So if we go back and like let's I click on, or we can just minimize it. We can minimize it. So when we decrease the screen size, now when the size is medium, it automatically becomes responsive and it automatically comes into one single column. It becomes one single column. Okay, so this is the breakpoint for medium. So this is MD. Okay, so if we go back and instead of MD, if we just use, let's say instead of MD we'll use LG. Let's save it. Let's go back to our browser, and if I refresh it, and its screen size will be smaller. So this is the breakpoint for LG. So if we go back and add instead of LG MD, save it, go back, and so this was the breakpoint for LG to become responsive. If I refresh it, now it's not responsive till now because this is not the breakpoint for MD. So breakpoint for MD is even smaller. So now here it is become responsive for MD. So if we go back once again, and if we change from MD to SM, and save it, Command and S, Control and S, and let's go back, and if I refresh it, it's not responsive till now because the breakpoint for MD has changed, and since we have used SM, the breakpoint for SM is over here. So that's it. Hope you understand it by now. I try to make you understand in really easy way, as easy as possible way. So if we go to Bootstrap, and if we go to breakpoints, here we have the breakpoint. So extra small, there is no extra small, we only have small, medium and large. We have used 3 different one. If you are also making a design for TV or extra large screens, then you can use extra large and extra large option. Okay, so but most of the time we will only use MD. So this is the safest option. So the breakpoint is smaller than 760 pixel. Okay, so we will use the medium one for safe side or for easier way. So let's go back, and I want the code first. So here instead of SM we'll use MD. So in most of the parts we'll use MD. Okay, so keep in mind that, or remember in mind that we have different options like MD, LG, XL, XSL or SM, but for safer side or for common use we'll use MD. Okay, you can explore all of those options and use it for now. And if I go back and refresh our app, we have 3 different columns. Now if we check our design, we have the similar things, but I think we need a container class to have space on left and right. So let's go back, and in our code, in our section, so here I will add a class and I will call it container, and save it, and go back to our browser and refresh it. Now we have space on left and right. Now I think I will make this and this section of column 3. Now currently we have made it to column of 2. So instead of col MD2, let's make it column 3 MD3, col MD3, and col MD. This will be, since 3 3 6, the remaining column is 6 because we need a total of 12 column. Okay, so let's go back and refresh. Now we have bigger column on left and right, and the biggest is on the middle. And now we need to add a margin on top and bottom as well of this row. We can either add margin or padding. So I think we will add padding. Also what I want to add a background on this column, and then add some cards. First let's continue with the design, and later we can add the background for whole section. I want whole section to be gray, and only the cards or only the profile section to have the white background, so it pops out from the background. Okay, so let's go back, and here now we'll start working on our profile section. So the first column is for profile, as we have designed here. So I will just add a comment, a profile section starts and I will copy it and copy and paste it over here. This is ends. So that's it. And for the profile section, I will add a card component of our Bootstrap. So let's go to components, and here we can go to component, and in here we have card. And here if you see, we have different design of cards. We can use any of these. So I think I will go with this one because this is the very minimalist one, and we can customize it easily. You can use any of this one. Okay, so this will be a full image, this will be a full background image. It has button as well, and it doesn't have button and a lot of other things in our card, but I think I will go with the minimalist one. So let's go to this one, very minimalist one. I will just copy it, and let's go back to our code, and here I will paste it over here, Command and V. And if I save it and go back to our browser, and in our project, if I refresh it, we can see the card title here. And let's go back, and what we want is, I want all the text of this title and then subtitle and this one into a center, in center, like in our design we have all of this in our center. I want to add it in center. So for that I will use a div class. I will create a div class, div. I will create a division, and then inside here I will add a class of text center. Okay, so we have, I will paste it here, and I will put down here, and I will add, I think I will add all of the links, everything. Copy, I will copy it, Control C, and paste it here. We can select it and press tab to align them. So alignment is also really important. So here is also card title. I will remove this one. Let's go back, and if I refresh, so everything is in center. So let's talk about text center. Okay, so this is already built in, so we can go over here, search, and we can search text center. And if I press, so here we have text alignment inside utilities. Inside our utility section we have text, and here you can see like text start is for if you want from left, text center is if you want your text to be in center, text end if you want your text to be in right side. So you can read a lot of those things over here. So this is how easy it is to align all the text. It is already written in Bootstrap. You just need to know the class and use it. So if we, like, instead of text center, if we add text end, save it and go back, what should the text end do? It should bring all the text into right side. Refresh it, all the text into right side. So that's how easy it is to make changes in using Bootstrap framework or CSS framework like Bootstrap. So we have similar pretty good design. Now what I want to do is, I want to remove this red border. Now I think you understood the concept of layout system in Bootstrap. So that's what I wanted to make you understand by adding this red border. Now I will remove it. Let's remove it, save it, and go back to our browser, and it's removed. And in the previous a little bit earlier, I told you that I wanted to make the background of this section gray like this one, and make this white so it pops out. Now let's do that. For that, what I want to do is, along with in section along with class container, I will make a class called main content. Okay, now it's time to add our own custom CSS in our style CSS. So I have created a class called main content. Now we will change color with this class. Okay, so let's go back to style.css, and here I will add a comment. And to add comment in CSS, you just need to add, you can press command and slash or control and slash, and between this slash and asterisk and slash, you can write the comment over here. So I will call theme social media web app. I'll author sorry, I accidentally deleted it. And then author or developer, you can see whatever you want. I will call it author, and then my name, and then I will add version is 1.0. let's save it. And we have created a class called main content, so I will create that class dot main dash content, and here we will add a attribute or property background color, and here we will add the color. Okay, so here I want a grayish color, so I'll just paste the color code here. This is the color I want to add. You can add it as well. So this is a grayish color. If we check here, you can also drag and drop. You can add any background color you want. I want this specific gray color, so I'll just save it, Control and S and Command and S, and go back and refresh. If I refresh, nothing changes because we have not added the CSS file in our index.html. So let's go to index.html file and at the top, after Bootstrap CSS, we will add, before this one, we'll add over here, I will add a comment, custom CSS link, and then we will add a link, so I will call it link. Link rel is style sheet, and href, we need to give the link in href section. It is inside CSS folder and it's called style.css file. Okay, let's save it and go back to our browser and let's refresh it. Now our background is great, but it has space on left and right. So what we can do is, let's go back to our code. This is because our container is just here, not outside this section. If we added container fluid, it would go whole width of this screen, but since we added the container on section, it is only applying the background on container. So here, let's go back, and what I want to do is, I want to div class here in the section container. I will just remove the container from here. Let's only add main content. Let's save it, and below the main content I will create another div. I will call it div, and then let's give a class of container, and this is the ending div. So I'll just cut it, Control and S or Command and X, and I will paste just below the section, because this is just after the section and just before the section. Okay, so over here I'll paste it, and let's push it inside, because this is inside section and this is the row, and we will push all the div. So leave the one div, after section one div, before section one div. I will select whole, and if you press tab, it will push everything inside. Okay, so just press tab button, so it will push everything inside. And now if we save it, Command and S, let's go back and space. Now we have container as well, because we have space on left and right, but the background is applied in all the section. Okay, so what happened is, we applied the main content class in our section, but the container is inside the section. So the background is applied in whole area inside this section, but the container is, since container is inside the section, it will create gray background over here and white card over here. And what we need to do is, let's make the color of this navigation bar white as well. For that we will do a really easy thing. So for that, if we go in our navigation bar, navigation section, start here, we have navbar expand LG and busy body torsory. Just thing we can do to make the navigation bar white is to remove this background, busy body torsory. If I remove it, save it and go back, and if I refresh it, it will change it to white. Okay, so this is what I want. Now along with that, I think we need to add some padding in this section, so before row, so that we will have a nice space before and after the row. So let's go back, and here in our section, let's go to our section, and here along with main content, let's add padding. So shortcut for padding is P, And if we want padding on top and bottom, what we can do is py. So in the graph, x-axis is like horizontal and y-axis is vertical, which is if we add x, it will add padding on left and right. If we add py, it will add padding on top and bottom. Now for now we need padding on top and bottom only, so here we can add padding 3. Let's save it and go back to our browser and let's refresh it. And we have an option to add padding or margin till 5. So 5 is the biggest one. So if you go back and refresh, it has the biggest padding now. I think p4 will be good, padding 4 in y-axis. So that's good for now. So let's go back to our Bootstrap documentation, and here in utilities you can see spacing. So here you can understand about margin and padding. So M is for margin, P is for padding. And here if we just want margin or padding on top, you can add T, B for bottom, S for left, and E for right. Padding on the right, padding or margin on the right, padding or margin on the left, or start for S, and X for left and right, Y for top and bottom, and we have used Y for top and bottom. Okay, and here we have 0 to 5. So that's it. So hope you understand about the concept of margin and padding in Bootstrap. Please use it. Please experiment with it, and you will find the suitable or perfect one for you. So that's it for now. Now let's work on profile. So here here we will display the username or full name of the user, and here we will display the profession or occupation of the user. Okay, so let's go and change that. So here if we go to the card title, here I will add the name of the user, which is my name, and here in text body secondary we can call it or use software developer, developer, and content creator. Okay, you can give any occupation you want. Save it and let's go back, and if I refresh, now we have name of the user, sort on or occupation of the user, and here we can give the short bio about the user. So what we can do is we can make the size of this text a little bit smaller. For that, what we will do is we will use small class. So I will just create a space after the occupation of the user, and here along with car text, what we can do is we will add small small. Small small is the class which will create a smaller text. So if I refresh it, and it decreases the size of the text here. And what we can do is we can also create this is a black color, so instead of black we can create grayish color like this one. So for that, what we can do is after small, let's add text body secondary. We have text body secondary, so I will select it and save it. Control and S or Command and S. If we go back and refresh it, now it's a gray color, gray color, which looks beautiful. Now we have name, occupation, and description of the user. Now what we can do is we can add the image of the user above the user's full name. Okay, so before this one, what we can do is we can add the image. For that, I will use img tag, and src is equals to images / user.png, because we have user.png inside images folder. That's it. And alt, here we will give user's full name, Thapa. That's it. Let's close the angle bracket. This is image. And if we save it, Command as S or Control and S, and if I refresh it, we can see the image of the user, but it's a little bit bigger. So we will decrease the size with our custom height, like we did for this one and this one. So let's add style, and here after the alt, style and height, let's give 60 pixel. That's it. Save it by pressing Control and S or Command and S. Let's go back, and if I refresh it, this is a little bit more better than the previous one. So along with that, what we can do, we can add a little bit space between the name and the image. For that, I will go and here along with style, I will add a class. And here, as we have read the documentation previous, I will add margin, and I want margin and bottom, and margin bottom 3. Save it. Let's go back, and here now it applied the margin bottom, and it created space after the name. That's it. Similarly, what we can do is now we can remove the link. Let's leave it for now, and what we can do is let's go back to our design and see. So after the image name description, what we have is total number of followers of 3 different columns with the followers. So let's try to make that. Let's go back, and after the user enter card link here, I think after this link, before this link, what we can do is here we have text center as well. So let's add user stats section, and what we can do is user section starts, and I'll just copy it and paste it below it, and this will be ints. Here I will create a row. Before creating any column, you just need to create a row. Okay, so a row I'll call division div dot row. If this is a shortcut, if I just type div dot row and then tab, it will create a division with class row. Okay, so that's it. We have row. Now we need to create a division with column. Since we want an equal column, I will not specify MD, and I will not specify a specific number of columns. I'll just type div dot col. So division dot col, class of col, and here I want 3 different columns like shown in the sketch here. 1 2 3 3 columns. So what we can do is, first column will have let's say post, how many posts we made, and if I copy it, what we can do is let's give some space, and here I'll just copy it. First one post, and then what we can do is another one will be followers and following. Okay, let's say followers and following. Let's save it, and if we go back to our browser and refresh, we have 3 different columns of equal size. Since they are of equal size, I did not specify any number of column, but you can specify like col 444, and that's it. And I also have not specified any breakpoint because I don't want it to break. I don't want any breakpoint. I will show you the reason behind it once the project is finished. Okay, for now what I want is I want to show the number of posts as well. So here for that I will let's say 199 post, and after that br break tag. So if I go and here, and if I refresh it, we have 199 posts. Similarly, let's say follower, or let's say 112 and br tag, and if we go back and refresh, what we have is 112 followers and following as well. So following, let's give a smaller number, 65, and then br for breakpoint. Let's save it, go back to our browser and refresh it. Now we have 65 followers, and now what I want to do is I want to make this bolder. So, and I want to make this bolder, and I want to make them smaller like this one, and grayish color as well. First let's make the bold color bold. So to make this bold, we can add strong, and inside the strong we'll add this. Okay, so let's save it, Control and S or Command and S, and let's go back and refresh. Now this is bold. Similarly we'll do same for all. So here I'll just copy, Control C, Control V or Command V, and let's paste it over here. Same we'll do with the following. So I'll just copy, Control C or Command C, paste it over here, and let's paste the number over inside this. So let's save it and let's go back to our browser and let's refresh. Now all of these are bold. Now we need to make this smaller, so let's go back, smaller and in gray color. So here let's say small, we can use small like this one as well. Control J, small like this one as well. Previously we used small as a class, but we can also use it like this one. So I will cut it here, paste it over here, save it. Let's go back to browser, and if I refresh, now this one is smaller as compared to this one. Let's make it gray color as well. Now I will add class and I will call it text body secondary. Okay, so this class will add gray color on our text. Let's go back and refresh. Post is gray color and smaller. We'll do the same with followers and following. So I'll just copy this, Control and C or Command and C, and followers I'll paste it over here, and instead of post is it followers, and this is following. So I'll select and paste, Control C or Control V, and this is following. Let's save it and let's go back to browser, and if I refresh it, now all of these are on smaller size and gray color. And if we go back to our design, what we have border on left and right. So what we can do is apply the border on left and right of this middle section. Okay, so if we go back to our design, and this is the middle section, so followers is the middle section. So here in this column we will add a style in this column. Okay, so we will add custom CSS or custom inline CSS. I have talked about inline internal and external CSS in our HTML and CSS course. Please read about it or follow those courses as well. And if you have followed, you already understand the difference between inline, internal and external CSS. Okay, so this is inline CSS. So I will add style and I will add border dash left 1 pixel solid black. Okay, sorry, BLCK black. That's it. Now save it, Control and S and Command and S. Since I wanted the border on the middle column, this is medium column, I added the border left on middle column. Okay, on the left side of the middle column. If I refresh it, now we have border on the left side. Now let's add the border on the right side as well. So let's go back and I will just copy the same style. We need to copy border left, or we can just type after the semicolon here, what we can do, border dash right, and then here we can get 1 pixel solid black, black. That's it, Command and S or Control and S. Let's go back, and if I refresh it, now we have border on the right side as well. And one thing if you notice is all the text in this row are on the middle. Why is it? Do you know? Can you guess it? Because this whole profile or user stat section is inside our div text center. So since our profile stat section is inside the text center class, all of the classes inside it are aligned in center. Okay, so that's it. Now we have completed first one and second one section. Now we need to create last or middle section for our user profile card, so which is interested topic. So let's go back, and here I will say we can leave this link as it is, and text center is here. So after the text center, so I'll just remove the link. We can add the link later. And after the text center, I don't want the interested topic inside the text center. So if I just highlight the div for text center, it will show the line which is the end of the div. And here, or after the user stat, what we can do is go to here, which is inside the card body. We don't want to go outside of the card body, so inside the card body and outside the text center. So this is the text center CSS, this is text center. After the text center, what we'll do is we will create interested section, interested topic section. Okay, so for that I will create a comment, interested topic section starts, and I will create Control C, Control V, and topic ends. And if we look at the design, we just have a horizontal line, and after that we have interested topic or interested heading. Okay, so I'll create a HR for horizontal line, so this will create a beautiful line. So if we refresh, this is the line HR, and after that I want to add interested topic. So what we can do is same as our HTML, I will add h5 here. I will call it interested topics. That's it. And let's go back, and if I refresh, we have nice heading. Let's make it bolder. Okay, so to make this bolder, we can use a utility function of our Bootstrap. So it has a class called font weight. For fw is font weight, and we can give font weight. Okay, so if I give font weight of bolder, it will make it bolder. So this becomes bolder. Okay, so, and I think font weight light is also available. If I go to and refresh, it becomes light. So but for now let's go with bolder. So this is how easy it is to make web design with CSS. Similarly, we can also add font style, like font style italic, FS for font style, and then italics. If I save it and go back to browser and refresh it, sorry, italic, I think, sorry, it did not change. So what we can do is we can go to our Bootstrap documentation, and if we see the text, and here we can see, let's say text, we can see use text transform, font size. So FS was for font size, font style is for, I think, font FST. FS, you can also change the font size with FS 1 2 3 4 5 6. Font weight with FW, bold, bolder, medium, light, regular. So FST, I think FST was for italics. So if we try it, FST, FS was for style, and if I refresh it, it's not applying. Italic, refresh, now it is italic. So it was FST italic. Okay, right now I don't want it. So please read the documentation and try whatever you want and make whatever you want to make. Okay, so we have lighter, lighter, normal, medium, semi bold, bolder, bold. So we have a lot of option. Along with that, we have line height as well, and a lot of different things. Please, text decoration, a lot of these things are inside the Bootstrap utilities text. So please follow those as well and try as much as possible, experiment with it, and make it, you can make it more beautiful than we are creating right now. So after the interested topic, what we want to is we want to add topics with the link. So let's create a link. So after s5, I will add an anchor tag a href is equals to hash, for now dummy link. And what we can do is, let's say sports sports, and let's copy it and make multiple. I will just copy it and paste it over here, multiple one, sports, and then entertainment, music, let's say, and politics as well, save it, Control NS or Command NS, and if I refresh it, we have multiple topics, but I want it on a single column. So what we can do is we can either add this inside a paragraph tag. So if I add a paragraph tag and paste it inside here, I'll paste it inside here, and let's remove this for now, and I will just copy once again. You can either use a br tag to bring in new line, but I usually like using paragraph tag. So sports, similarly entertainment, after that entertainment, let's create some space, and then space, entertainment, music, and then movies. Okay, movies, let's save it and let's go back and refresh it. Now we have on different lines, but the default css for anchor tag is applied. Now I want to remove this and customize it with our custom css. Okay, so let's go back to our code, and here along with after href I will add a class, and I will add a class of a-link. So this will be the link custom css class for our anchor tag a-link. So if now we need to go style.css, and here after main content I'll create a class dot a-link. And first thing I want to do is I want to remove the text decoration. So text decoration none, and so control and save, and command and s, or control and s, go back. So what the text decoration is, the underline, the default underline in anchor tag is text decoration. So I am removing this one. So if I refresh, now it removed the underline. Now I want to remove the color of this one as well. So since the theme of this web page is green, I will go with green color. So let's add the color as well, color, and for now I will give a color of black. I want to make it as minimalist as possible, and if I refresh it, this is black, but when we hover I want to change this to green color. So now we need to add hover color. So this is a link, so when a-link is hover, I want to add change the color. So let's give a color of green. So here I have already selected a green color that I want to use, so I'll paste it. You can use this color as well. So this is like this one, this green. So you can copy and type in your css as well. So a-link hover color. Let's save it and go back to our browser, and if I refresh it, and if I hover over the sports, it is nice green color only on hover. So now we need to apply that css in all of these links as well. So let's go back, and in our index.html what we have to do is we just need to add this class in our anchor tag. So I will, after the href paste, after the href we'll paste it and save it, control and s, or command and s. Let's go back to our browser, refresh it. Now our topics are nice and beautiful. So that's it. Let's go back to our design, and at the end we have a view profile link, and our profile will be complete. So for that what I want to do is I want to add HR, or horizontal row. This is the horizontal row. I want to add that link after the row. So not I think not after the row, but after the card, not after card, inside card body. This is card body. So we can add just after the inserted topic as well. So I'll just add instead after the inserted topic, so this will be easier to remember. So here I will add HR, so it will add a horizontal line like this one. So if I refresh, so we have a horizontal line. So here we will add a link like this one, but to see the full profile of the user. So let's add a paragraph tag, and here we will add let's say anchor tag a link, and href to a hashtag, for now dummy link, and here we will say view profile, save it. Now if I refresh it, we have a view profile button, but it has a default css, and since this needs to be active, this needs to be a little bit extra than this one. I want to make this always green, and I want to make it in the center. So let's go back to our code, and here in our paragraph tag I will add class text dash center class. Will you text center class, and go back to our browser, refresh it. Now it is in center. Now I want to make it green. So for now I want to call it a link active. So these are a links. I want to call it a link active, so that it will be always green. And if here we will create another class a dash link. So previous one is a link, now this will be active. And then here same as before, we will remove text dash decoration, text decoration none. Save it, and we'll use it on our here a link. Here after the a tag I will add class a dash link dash active and save it, Control and S or Command and S. And if I refresh, now text decoration is gone. Now we need to change the color of this one. So here let's add color, and here I want to give same color as this one. So I will copy it, Control C or Command V, paste it, save it, and let's go back to our browser and refresh it. Now it is nice green color. Now we need to change the hover color as well. We'll make it a little bit darker when it's hover over. So same as before, a dash link dash active on hover. What we want to do is we want to change the color, only the color. So here we'll make it darker. For that I have selected the color already. So copy and I will paste it over here. So that save it. Let's go back to browser, and if I refresh, and whenever I click over our profile, it becomes a little bit darker, if we can see it. So we have successfully designed our user profile section on the left sidebar. Now we will work on our right sidebar, which is recommendation for user follower and trending post, and then after that we'll work on main content section. Okay, so let's go back to our code. Now let's go on our code in our index.html. So here we have completed the profile section. Now we will work on our right sidebar. So here I will create a space, and if we go back to our design, we have who to follow. So first we will design this one, and then we will design this one. So let's go back, and here let's add a comment, people to follow section, and then I'll copy it and paste it below here. Starts, ends. For that we will use card, same as in our profile user profile section. So let's go to our browser, and here we will go to card. Where is card? Component card, card, and here we use this one, and it has a style width. It has given a custom width, but we need to remove it. Okay, so let's copy it, and because it will hamper or it will create some issues on responsiveness, so I'll paste it over here, and I'll remove it, and we need to remove it from our user profile section as well. So let's go to our user profile section. So here is style width, so we need to remove this one, and it won't affect right now, but when we need to make it responsive, it will affect on that one. So it already became a little bit bigger. Now we have card title, all the card section here. Now we need to add people to follow. Now let's go back to our index.html, and we will start adding all of these. For now we don't need everything, we just need h5 for our people to follow. So let's add who to follow instead of card title. Save it, Control and S or Command and S, and let's refresh it. Who to follow, let's make it bolder like this one. So we already know the class, which is font W bolder. Save it, go back to browser and refresh. This is bolder now. And if we go to our design, what we have is, after that we have a user profile on the left, and then username and occupation, and then users plus add icon in the right. Okay, so we will add all of those. For that we will use rows and columns. Okay, so we will create a division with row, class row, division, class row, and inside that what we need is profile image. First column is here, so I will create a division with column. Since the columns are on different sizes, we need to specify those column now. So col.1, and here we will have image, not images, image, and then after that what we'll have is I will bring it down, I'll enter and I'll call it image. And similarly what we have is, what we want is image. I want to make of only one column, first one and another one, and we have 3, because if we look at the design we need 3 columns, first column for image, second column for name and description, and third column for add button. Okay, so first image, second one is user name and description, and third one will be add button. Okay, so that's it. So let's save it and go back to our browser, and if I refresh it, sorry, image, and then col1. So I created col1 colon, so I'll create it of 10, because 10 11 12. Save it, go back to browser, refresh it. So username and button, add button. Okay, I think we need to make it a little bit bigger, so I'll make it of, I think, 2. I'll give 2 column for image and add button, and I'll make it of, since they are 2 to 4 remaining in 8 out of 12, so total needs to be total, so total needs to be 12, so we need to make it 12. 8 to 10, 8 to 10, 10 plus 2, 12. Save it, go back to browser, refresh it. Image, username and add button. So here in image, let's add the image of the user. Here we already have user 1, so img, I'll add an img tag, and here images / user.png, and here we'll give username, which is Vijay Thapa for now. We can use other user image as well, for now this one. And here we need to add with strong tag, strong, strong tag Vijay Thapa, and let's add a br tag, and here we will, let's add small. I want to display the user profile on small text with gray color, same as previous, which is I hope you know what class to use to create a gray color. Please comment below if you already know it. Software developer, I will call it, and let's save it and go back to browser. If I refresh it, here we have user image and username and user occupation. Now we need to decrease the size of this image, so we will give custom style. So here I'll add style attribute, and I'll give a height. I'll give a height of 45 pixel. This is the tested height. So now this looks beautiful. So I think we need to give a link. Let's give the link to the user as well. So I'll create an anchor tag, a link of hashtag, and at the end, it is because I want the profile to be clickable. Save it, let's tab it, save it, go back to browser and refresh. Sorry, I messed something up. I don't need href, I just need the close anchor tag. That's it, I'll need that one. I missed something, so let's go back, and if I refresh, now image can be clicked, since we just have dummy link, but it's a clickable. When we make it functionable, when we add some programming language or backend, then it will be really helpful. For that I added the anchor tag, and then what we can do is we can add the bottom. Now this looks pretty good. What we need to do is we need to change the color with this class. If we have, I think you have already added the class we are going to use in comment. So the class is text body secondary, and save it. Let's go back and refresh. Now it's a grayish color. Now here we'll add button. For that we could use a simpler, let's say simpler plus button like this one. If I refresh it, we can have a plus button, but let's make it anchor tag. We need to add a link, so I'll add an anchor tag, and let's give a link as well, and here we will add plus button. Save it, let's go back and refresh. Now we have a link, but we need to get rid of this default design. So what we can do is class is equals to a dash link. We can either use this one, and it goes and it is plus. We have a plus icon, beautiful plus icon, or we can add an icon from our Bootstrap icon. Okay, so Bootstrap already has an icon as well. So if we go and search Bootstrap Bootstrap icons. We can go to Bootstrap icons, and here we have a lot of icons. So I will just search for plus, and then from here we can use any button you want. For example, what should we use? Should we use plus or square? I'll use square for now. So you can just click on it, and you can click the HTML SVG section. So I'll just copy it. Let's go back, and here instead of this plus, I will just remove the plus icon, and here I'll just paste it. Control and C or Control S or Command S, and if I refresh the profile, now we have a plus icon over here which we can click. Okay, so that's it. Now we have one user. Let's copy and make multiple users. So this is a row. So this is, I will say, I will add a command. So this is recommended user, and then starts, or let's just say recommended user 1, and this ends in div row. This is the div row. So after that I will add this user 1 ends. So now what we can do is we can copy this row from this row. So this is the open close, and we need to copy from user 1 recommended user 1 to recommended user 1, and then let's go down, and I will paste over here. So this becomes user 2. Let's save it, go back to our browser, and if I refresh, now we have two different users, but the space between the user is a little bit small. So let's add the user, let's add the space. For that I will use in row, let's add a margin on top and bottom. Top and bottom means y, x-axis is left and right, y is top and bottom. So my, let's say 3. If I save it, in user 2, in user 1 also I need to give. So my3, save it, margin on top and bottom 3. Go back to, did I miss something? Let's go back to browser, and if I refresh it, now we have beautiful spacing between the two different users. Let's make 5 different users like this one. So recommended user 2, we need to create 5. Okay, to this one will be 3. This is 3, and then this will be 4. This will be 4. Last one, this will be 4. This will be 5. Call it 5. Let's save it, go back to browser and refresh. Now we have 1 2 3 4 5 5 different user. Now let's change the icons or icon for user. So I'll go to icons8.com, and here let's download some different user. Okay, so I will add one user, this one. It's okay, and then download. Let's call it, this is user 1. Save it, and let's search for other users as well. Are there any other? This one, let's select this one, 96 by 96. I want the largest possible size. So we have user 1, user 2. Now we need similar, let's say this one. Download, and user 1, user 2, user 3. That's it. And some more. So let's add 2 more. I don't know why we don't have other different type of user. I want to select a nice design, so let's select this one. 64, it's okay, it's fine. Let's call it user 3 and this one is user 4, and let's add another one. Which one should we add? Let's add this user. Okay, download, and user 5. Okay, so that's it. And let's go back to our design. Now we will have 5 different user recommendation. So if we go back to user 1, I will call it user 1, and this is user 2, and this is user 3 in img tag in image. I am just changing the name, okay, because I have already created user 1, 2, user 3, so this is easier to change. User 3, user 4, and then user 5. Okay, user 5.png. let's save it, go back to browser and refresh, and so we have different profile images. Let's change the name as well. So what we can do is to change the image. Let's go over here, and first one is who to follow name. Let's say Vikas Khadka, or let's say designer or engineer. Save it, go back to browser and refresh. We change the name, and you can give the name of your friends, okay, here. Okay, so let's make it quick. So that's it. I have changed the name of different user. I will refresh it. So I have given the different name, and these are the profiles. So we have almost completed the who to follow section. At the end, we just need, I think, view more option. So view more button. For that, let's add a button after who to follow section. So who to follow section, this one is who to follow section. So after the card, not after the card, after the card body, so this is the card body. So before who to follow section ends, here we will add a button. Okay, so for that I will create a link, anchor tag a href dummy link for hash or pound sign, and here we will call view more. Save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh it, we have a link over here. Now I want it to be in the center, so we'll add a class and text that center. Save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh it, we have a link at the bottom, but I want some space after this one also, so I will add margin at the bottom. For that we need to add margin bottom mb dash, let's say 4. Okay, let's say margin bottom 4, and if I refresh, we have a nice space below it. Since this has a bigger margin, let's add a margin bottom 5. Save it, go back here, and if I refresh, we have nice, but it looks a little bit more, so I think 4 is okay for now. You can just experiment it and add the suitable one. Okay, so since this is default css for the link, when I need to add same as this one, so what we can do is we can add the css, our custom css, which is a link active. So after mb4, I will add a link dash active and save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh it, now we have nice link for view more. Now after that, if we check our sketch design, what we have is we have trending post here, so we will design this one. Okay, so let's go back to our code and after our people to follow section ends, here we will create another section called trending post section starts, and I will copy and paste it below it, and instead of starts it will be ends, and between this we will add another card and we will add the trending post section. Okay, so let's go back to our browser and let's go back to documentation, and same as before we will just copy this card, and then we can go back to our code, and I'll just paste it over here, and I will remove this style and card title. I think we will need this one. We don't need link for now, and we don't need subtitle as well, and we will just use this one paragraph tag and the title tag. Okay, for title tag will be trending posts. Save it. Let's go back to browser, and in our browser if I refresh we have trending posts, and trending post, let's make it bigger like this one. So this one is we know what class to use. If you know, please comment below. It is FW font weight bolder. Save it. Go back to browser. If I refresh we have big bold text, but here between these two cards we do not have any margin. So what we can do is we can add a margin above this card. So let's go back to code, and in this card we will add margin top. Let's give 3. Let's go back to browser, refresh. We have space above our card, so that's beautiful. So that's it. Now we will add link for this one. So I don't want, this is a domain text, so what we can do is we can remove this one. Let's say build on the card, so I will just call it this one, and here I will add anchor text hashtag for anchor, and let's end this anchor tag after the paragraph tag, so we can push it inside. Save it. So what we have is we have anchor tag, a tag, and then inside the a tag we have paragraph. So this is the title of the trending post. This can be the title of the trending post. So if we refresh, so here we have the title, and what we can do is we can give the class we can give a link. Since this is a link, it has a default CSS, but I want to use our custom CSS, so let's use our custom CSS. For that we have created a link class. Let's save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh, and here we have a nice beautiful link, and along with it I want to add the category of the text. So inside the paragraph what we can do is let's add a category. Let's call it sports, and save it. Let's refresh. Now we have the category as well, but what I want to do is I want to make it smaller. So what we can do is we can add a small tag over here before sports, SML small, and then small automatically closes, so I'll have to put it inside this small. Save it over here, command and S to save. Let's go back to browser, and if I refresh, now we have nice beautiful this one, but let's also change the text color. So what we can do is class text body secondary. If I refresh, now this is nice gray color. Okay, so that's it. So we have category as well as some title. Now let's copy and paste it multiple times so that we can make it like multiple posts. So let's save it, and at the end I'll just say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is, I think I have created 6 different trending posts. If I go to browser and if I refresh it, now we have 6 different posts, but there is no spacing. So let's add some spacing as well. So at the bottom margin, we'll add margin bottom of every post. So after a link, we can add margin bottom 2. I'll save it, and if I refresh, oh, there is no margin bottom. So MB 5. If I refresh, no, it is not applied on anchor tag. Instead, we can apply in card text. So here margin bottom, I'll cut it and I'll paste in paragraph tag, paste it here, save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh, now we have applied the margin. So we need to apply margin on paragraph tag. So let's go back. I want a smaller space, so I just gave the 2 margin bottom 2. So I'll just copy, I think spacing also a bit more spacing here. So I'll just copy margin bottom 2 from paragraph tag, and we'll paste along with card text in all the trending post. Okay, card text margin bottom 2, card text margin bottom 2, margin bottom 2. You can add more margin as if you like. Okay, so I think margin bottom 2 is quite good for now, so I just added margin bottom 2. Now save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh it, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 different topics, trending topics. Now at the end, if we go and check, we need to add another a link like view more, like view all. So we'll add that one. I think I will go with margin bottom 3. Let's add margin bottom 3. I think I need a little bit more spacing. Margin bottom 3, margin bottom 3, margin bottom 3, margin bottom 3, and let's save it and go back. If I refresh, now it's nice. Now at the end, let's add view more button. So similarly, after card body, I will add it after card body. Here after card, I will add anchor tag and hashtag, not dollar, hashtag view more, and we save it, go back to browser. If I refresh, it's in the left, and with default CSS we need same as this one. We need to make it in center and apply the custom CSS. Okay, so we have made this one. So can you guys guess and write the CSS we'll be writing for this one in the comment below? I'll wait for it. Okay, I'm happy that you have remembered that, and thank you for writing comment of those classes. So let's add the class. So this is text center to let's save it to make the view more button in the center. If I refresh, it is in center, and then after that we need to add a dash link active. Okay, so that's it, and refresh active, and then we need to add margin bottom. Okay, so that's it, margin bottom. Let's give 3, save it, go back to browser. If I refresh, let's go give the 4, margin bottom 4. That's it, go back, refresh. Now this is pretty good. So that's it, we have completed the right section as well. Now we need to make the main section, which is main content section, and the footer. Let's first make the footer section, which is real easy part, and then we will add the main section over here. Okay, so let's go and add that. So for that, in footer section, I will just create a footer section, and what I want to do is, here I want to add multiple anchor tags. So anchor tag, hashtag, I will add home. I'll just copy and I'll just paste it here. Let's call it home, about, and then contact. Okay, and tsct contact. That's it. Let's save it, go back to browser and refresh it. Now we have our footer links, but it is in the left section. Let's bring it to center. and give the our custom CSS link. Okay, custom link like this, but I don't want it to be green, I want to be black like this one. Okay, so let's do that. I hope you remember the CSS classes, and please, same as before, put the comment. So the easiest thing we can do is we can add class over here. Since we won't have much thing except this link in footer, I will add the class text center in footer section itself. So text center, save it, let's go back to browser, refresh. Now it's in center. Let's give the link our class. So here in home I will add a dash link. Similarly I will copy and paste it in about, and then contact, save it, go back to browser and refresh. Now we have nice about contact, but we need some spacing padding in footer section. So let's give the padding first. So along with text center, let's give padding on all sides of 3. Let's save it and refresh. Now we have nice padding on top and bottom, but let's give the padding, not margin on anchor tag. So what we can give is along with a link on the margin on right, or margin for margin right, what do we have? We have margin end. Okay, ms for margin start on the left side, margin end for right, or margin on the right. Okay, me2, let's give me2, save it, and if I refresh, we have nice and margin after home. Similarly we will add me2 on both about and contact, same, and refresh. So we have nice margin or nice space between all of these links, so home, about, and contact. Okay, so that's it. We have created footer section as well. Now all we have remaining is the main content section, which is middle section. So now let's finish this web design project. Okay, now let's go to our index file. So I will go to my code editor. I want it to be on the first screen. So here is our index.php. We have completed footer section, so I'll just minimize it. We can minimize it by going to the footer, and here you can see drop down. So if I click on it, it will minimize. And if we go to and we have also completed the right section, this one, not this one, this one, profile, yeah, this is the remaining one. This is the people to follow section, and trending. I will minimize this as well. So this is the main content section. So here I will call it main content section, and we will have to remove this one. Okay, so I'll just add a comment over here, main content section starts, or we can call feed section. Let's call it feed section. Okay, feed section starts, and I'll copy it and paste it down here, and then here we will start designing the main content or feed section. Okay, so let's go back and see our sketch. So if we see our sketch here, this is our sketch. So the first one is adding a feed, like what's on your mind, like on Facebook, what's on your mind. So we'll call it a share a thought, where user can type the text and add a topic and post, and after that we will be listing all the feeds or posts by different user. So in this design also we'll use cards, and if we see the design, what we'll have is, here we'll have the user image, and then we'll have username and occupation, and then here we'll have one option to like update or delete this post, and then here we'll add the description. Some of the posts may have image and some may not have image. So if they have an image, then we'll display the image like this, and after that we will show how many comments they have, and publish date on the right, and after that we'll add a feature to add a comment. Okay, so that's it. So let's go and design. First we will design the feed, and at last we will design add feed or add post section. So let's go and do that. Okay, so here I will create a comment for let's say add post section starts, and I will copy it, and then let's say add post ends. That's it. And then what we can do, I will just copy it and we'll call it feed listing. Okay, so feed listing section, yeah, feed listing or post listing, you can call it anything you want. Listing feed or post listing. Post listing section starts here. Post feed, feed or post listing section ends here. So first we'll work on this one and later at the end we'll work on this one. Okay, so let's go over here and same as before we will add a card. So let's go to the Bootstrap documentation. I will go to Bootstrap and here is card. So I'll just copy this code here. I'll just click on copy to clipboard and let's go to our code and here I will paste it and I'll remove this style for width. Let's remove it and let's save it. Let's go back and if I refresh, what we have is we have card title up here and subtitle and description and link. Okay, so we need to customize this card now. So what we will do is we will remove the link as well as card title. We will only leave the description section. So let's go and I will just remove subtitle and the link and we will only leave the text paragraph for now. And also let's also make this paragraph with small. Let's add a small class and also text body secondary to give a small and gray text. So this is small. Now if we see the design, let's go and check the design. We need to add, before that we need to add user profile and user's full name, occupation and the option to add or delete. Okay, for that we need to add row and inside the row, inside the card body we will add a new row, new division, div dot row division with row class row. And then what we will do is we need to create 3 columns since it will be one image will be one column, user's full name and occupation will be second column and the option to add, edit and delete will be column 3. Okay, so let's create that. I will create another division with column 1 and here we'll have image and then let's create another column, div dot col dash 10 with column 10 because it will be user's name, full name and occupation. And then at end we will have settings or edit delete option. So div dot col dash 1 column 1 division, so edit delete. Okay, so we will have edit delete option as well. So let's save it and go back to our browser and refresh it. So image, full name and occupation and edit delete option. Okay, so that's it. And now we need to add the description. So let's add image as well as users detail and all other things. So here I will go first I will add image. So image means profile image, so we'll go with img tag. Source will be images slash, let's call it user one.png. so user one name, it will be, if we see our design, what do we have, user one, we can call it Vikas Khadka. Let's create a anchor tag as well on our profile name. So let's give dummy link and here I will call it Vikas Khadka. And then after that we need to add his occupation as well. So for that I will use paragraph tag. And what is he? He is an engineer, so let's give the occupation engineer. That's it. And for now we will have a drop down option. So for now I will add 3 dot and let's save it and go back to our browser and refresh it. We have image, but this one is bigger, and we have name, and here we have option. So what we can do is let's go back to our design, and here we need to give style, and we'll give height, custom height. So custom white height will be 45 pixel, and let's save it, go back to browser and let's refresh it, and now it looks perfect. But our occupation is bigger, and the name has default styling, and we also need to make it bolder, so I'll use strong tag. So here I will add strong strong, and then I think I remove because quarter, and inside the strong tag we will add or we can, what we can do is instead of using strong tag, let's use class, and let's make it bolder with font weight bolder. Save it, go back to browser, refresh it, it is bold. Now we need to remove this default css link css. So what we have is, we have already created a dash link class in our style.css, a dash link. So if we go back and refresh, we have nice link. And let's decrease the size of engineer. For that, what we will use is, we will use a class, and we will use small, and then save it, go back to our browser, and if I refresh it, we have small engineer. And let's also make the text of it a little bit gray, so text body secondary. Save it, go back to our browser, and if I refresh, it is a smaller one. Now we have added the link on the name, but let's also add the link on profile. So I'll go here, and here I'll add a link. It is simple, just add anchor tag href, and domain link will be hashtag. And let's cut it from here, and I'll add it at the end of img tag. We'll need to push it inside by pressing tab, and let's push the image profile image as well inside by pressing tab. Let's save it, go back to our profile and refresh. Now our image is also clickable. We have added link, and we added link on name as well. Now we need to add a drop down in our three dot icon. So we'll go to our documentation, Bootstrap documentation, and when we go to drop down, we can add a drop down like this. So action drop down something, and instead of button we can add anchor tag, and this one. So I'll just copy. I'll click on copy to clipboard to copy the code, and let's go to our code, and here I'll just delete this three dot icon, and I will paste it over here. And here we have drop down button. We only need two drop down buttons, so I will remove one, and I will call them edit, and another one delete. And instead of drop down button, calling it drop down button, let's call it only give three dot icon by adding three full stops. So let's go to our design, and if we refresh, we have drop down button over here, but we don't need button, we only need anchor tag. So what we can do is, instead of button we can add anchor tags. So a and a, so anchor tag open, anchor tag close, and we don't need button, so button secondary, I will delete button, and btn secondary, and then I will also delete type button. And then let's save it. Let's go back to our browser, and if we refresh, now we have our link. What we can do is, we need to give href, since this is the anchor tag, so we'll give dummy link for now. And here in class, what we can do is, we can give our anchor tag css class a link, and we'll save it by pressing Ctrl and S or Command and S. Let's go back to browser, and if I refresh, we have a nice little icon, and we have drop down. Now the drop down goes outside of this card, but I want it to be inside the card. So what we can do is, we can go to drop down here, and here we have something called drop start, so we will use that. So drop end, and here we have drop start, and if we use drop start, this one, and it should work like a charm. So let's go back to our code, and we need to add drop start in our main division, which is div column 1. So I'll paste it, sorry, so I'll paste it over here, sorry, drop strt copy and save it, drop start, control N S or command N. Let's go to browser, and if I refresh and click, it's not working. So what we can do is, I think we messed up something. Drop down, I think we need to add drop start over here, and let's save it. Let's go back to browser, refresh, and if I click here, and it is coming over here. So I will remove here. I just made a simple mistake, sorry for that. And I will okay, I'll save it again. I'll go back to browser and refresh, and I'll show you now it's working. So we have edit and delete over here. That's it. That's good. We have edit. When we click on this, we have edit and delete. Okay, so that's good. So this is this drop down toggle creates a pointer like this one. So let's remove this drop down toggle, and if I refresh, it's gone. But we can click on this three dot icon and it shows edit and delete option. So that's perfect. Edit and delete option. So that's it. We have created a top section. We have also created middle section. Now let's add the image down here. So when some post have image, we can show the image successfully. So let's go back, and after the paragraph, after the paragraph, we need to add the image over here. So I'll add image tag, and we need to add some images in our images folder. So let's go and search some image that we can add. So I will open our project. Here is our project folder, and this is images. So here I will copy for now I will copy two reference images from my computer. So I have two images, photo cycle and photo teacher. Both of these images I have created using AI. So I'll use this image as a reference for now. So we have two images. I will just close it, and we need to see this sketch for reference. So let's go to the code, and here in image src, now we have two photo cycle and photo teacher. So src images slash photo teacher, first one photo teacher, and alt tag post. We can give the description of photo. For now I'll call it photo teacher, and let's save it, and let's go back to browser and refresh. Now we have image, but image is out of the card, so we need to fix it. So when you go to the card documentation, you can see the class card image top used in the card. So we will use this class card image top. Let's go back and let's go to our code, and in our img we will add a class and we'll paste the card img top. Let's save it. Let's go back to browser and refresh. Now we have perfectly added the image inside the card, so that's really good. Now we have added the image. Now we need to add the footer section of the feed, which is a place to display comment, and we will also display publish date, and after that we will display add comment. Okay, so let's go. And now we have added this one. Let's also add a comment on this. I will call this one post header starts, and I'll copy it so that it will be easier to navigate, and I will paste it below this end, and here we will call it post content starts, and then after that post content ends, and after that what we have is post footer. Let's call it post footer. I will call it post footer starts, and I'll copy it and paste it. Post footer ends. Okay, now we'll start with, now we need to create a row because we will have two columns. First column is for comments, second column is for date, publish date. So here I will create two columns, div columns. Since both of the columns will be of same size, I will not specify a number of columns. So div column, here we will have comments, and another we will have div.col, we will have publish date. That's it. Comments, we can also specify the total number of comments. Let's call 9, and publish date, let's call 15th. I don't know current date, so I will just add 15 June. So today is 23 June, so I'll add 23 June 2024. So that's it. Let's save it and go back to browser and refresh. So here we have comment and publish date, but I want to make it smaller. So let's add, what we can do is we will add, let's call small, and between inside this I will move the comments inside small. Same, I will add small over here, small, and I will move this inside it. Okay, so that's it. Let's save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh, we have comments and publish date. And what we can do is we can also add an icon before these comments and before the publish date. So let's go back to Bootstrap icon. So here is the Bootstrap icon, and let's go back to icons, and I will search for comment or comment. Which one should we use? Let's use this one. So I'll copy the HTML, and then let's go back. Let's go to the code, and here is our comment. So here I will paste it, Command and V, save it. Let's go back to browser, and if I refresh, we have comments here and icon as well. So similarly, let's add the icon for our publish date. For that I will use calendar. So I'll search for calendar and refresh. So here we can use any of this. So let's use this one, calendar event. I will use this one, calendar event. I will just click on this copy to clipboard and go back to our code, and here we can add the code, save it, Control and S or Command and S to save, go back to browser, and if I refresh, we have date as well. Okay, but we need to add margin above this section, and we also need to move this text to the right. For that, what we can do, just do you remember? If you remember the class to put the text to the end, please let me know in the comment below. Okay, I know you guys are clever and you remember the class, but I don't. So I'll go to documentation and search. So text alignment, so text int, I will use text int. Let's go back to code, and here for here in div class call, I will add text dash end, save it, Control and S or Command and S. Let's go to browser and refresh. Now we have the text at the end, and we need to add margin at the top of this. For now, we may need a margin at the bottom as well. So in row, I will add margin Y for top and bottom. Hope you remember margin Y. Let's add 3, save it. Let's go back to browser, and if I refresh, now we have added nice margin above the comments and publish date section and below as well. So now what we need to add, next thing we need to add is add comment section. And for add comment, what we need is a profile image on the left and add comment section on the right. So we will have 2 columns, but they do not have equal width, so we need to specify the number of column as well. So let's go back, and this is post footer section, this is row my3, and after this is the comments and publish date section, but we need to create another row. So I'll create div dot row. So I created a division with row. Inside here we will create div dot col dot one for user profile or user profile image, and another one for div dot col dash 11. So 11 plus 1 is 12 here. Comment form. So let's save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh, we have user profile and comment form. So let's design it. So in user profile image, I'll use image tag img src images slash this is user1.png, and in alt let's add user1 full name, and we will need to add a custom height as well because it will be larger. So custom height will be 25 pixels perfect. You need to experiment with the height, so please do experiment and find the perfect one for you. So here is user image, and here we need to add comment form. So let's add the form. For that I will start with form tag, form action, for now dummy, action is nothing for now, and what we need is we need text area. We need to give name. We will call it add underscore comment, and let's give the placeholder as well. Placeholder is what we see before typing. For example, if I save and refresh it, here we have a text area but it does not say anything. So when we add placeholder, I think I accidentally press Ctrl and S. So when we add placeholder, what we can do is add comment, or we can call it type your comment. And if I save it and go back to browser, and if I refresh it, it shows here, but when I start typing it disappears. Okay, so that's it for add your comment. And after that we need to add a button, input type submit, and input and type will be, hope you are familiar with basic of HTML CSS and form, and I hope you know about input types as well. So input type submit, and name will be submit, and we need to add let's save it and go back to browser, and if I refresh, you can see a submit form here, and it all says submit, but instead of submit we can add a value and call it add comment. Save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh it, it will call it add comment. Okay, but it does not look any good. So what we will do is we will go to Bootstrap documentation, and when we go to form in our component section, if we go to what is not here, I think in where is it, forms. In forms, let's go to overview, and what we have is what we can do is we can use class form control to give a nice design. So if I go over our code, and in text area we can add a class, and if I add form dash control and save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh, it gives full width text area with nice design. We can also add form control on our submit button, form dash control, and save it, Ctrl NS or Command NS. If I refresh, it gives nice button. Now we can customize the button as well. We'll give the class of button. So if we go and see the component section of our Bootstrap documentation, in buttons we have a lot of different type button primary, secondary, success. Since our website is of green theme, I want it to be of button success type. So if we see here, we have btn success. So let's try that one. Go back to code, and after form control I'll add btn dash success, and let's save it, Ctrl and S and Command and S. go back to browser, and it gives nice green button, but this is not the primary button for this website. This is secondary button, so I don't want it to be fully green. I just want its outline to be green. So if we go to buttons documentation, we can see something like btn outline btn outline success. So we use this one. Okay, so let's go back, and btn outline success, btn outline success, and let's save it, Control and S and Command and S. Let's go back to browser, refresh. Now it has a nice outline, but when you hover it becomes fully green. But we need some spacing between comment form and the button, so let's add that. Let's go to comment form. We'll add some on comment form. So this is form class not this one. In text area, after text area in class, let's add margin bottom 2. Let's save it, mb2 means margin bottom 2. Let's go back to browser and refresh. It is small. Let's add a bigger space, margin bottom 3. Let's go back to browser, refresh. Now it looks fine. So we have comment form and add comment. I think that's it for now. If we see the sketch or design, comment, profile comment, so that's it for now. Now let's add multiple feed. For that, what I will do is we need to go to the top of the card, and what we need to do is we need to just copy the card, whole card. So I'll just minimize, I'll just go to the card, and if we go to the left we can see the drop down. So feed post listing and start shares and end share. What we can do is we can copy the whole card. I'll just copy, Control and C, and I will multiple spaces, paste it over here. I will save it, and if I go back to browser and refresh, we have another one, but we do not have margin. We do not have margin in our card. So what we can do is we can add margin. Okay, so I will add margin at the bottom. So I'll go back, and if I go to the first feed, main content, profile section, profile feed section here starts here, and this is the first feed. So user 1, username 1, and in this card I will add margin button of 3. Let's save it, go back to browser, and I'll refresh. It looks nice space. We have margin bottom 3. What we can do, we can copy this space, and we need to add it on our another post as well. So let's go down, and where is feed post? Here is card. Here we need to add this one, because this will create space for our next post as well. So we need to copy this again. I will copy it from here, and I will need to I'll minimize this one as well. Where is this? Sorry. Interested topic section, profile, card body, profile section, interested, and then this is the card body, because edit delete. So card, I'll minimize this one. So we have 2 posts now. I'll add another post, 3 posts. I'll paste another one. Let's save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So to make it different, what we can do is let's open our, I will minimize this main content, not main content section, user stat. So this is profile section, so I will minimize the profile section. And in feed section, this is the first feed, this is the second one. So in the second one I will remove the image. In the second one I will remove the image, and we can change the user as well, user 2. What is the name of the user 2? We can see user 2 is Maria, so I'll call it Maria, Maria, and she is entrepreneur. and she only has text. Okay, so that's it. And this is the third one. So user 3, let's call user 3, and user 3's name is Robin, so let's call it Rocking, and he's a hacker. Okay, Robin and hacker. Let's change the image for him, photo teacher, and we have another one is photo-cycle.jpg. Photo-cycle, you can use any image you want. Okay, I just use the two different images. So if I refresh, first one, Vikas Khadka only has text as well as image, Maria only has text, Robin has image as well as text, and the last one, Vikas Khadka, this first and last one is same. So now only thing we have remained is to add post or share your thoughts form at the top of listing the feed. So let's go back, and before the feed listing, so if we see post header, so this is feed listing section. So and feed listing, and here is add post section starts here. So here we will add another card. So let's go back to browser and let's go to documentation, and again we will go to the card, and same as before, we'll copy this card. I'll click on copy to clipboard, and I'll paste it over here, and I'll remove this, and I'll only leave the text, or we don't need anything. I will remove everything. And here what we need is, let's go to our sketch, and here if we see, we only need user profile image on the left, and form to submit our thoughts on the right. For that we need just 2 columns, so one for profile image and another for the form. So let's start with creating a row, div row, and here let's create a column, div col 1 for profile image, user image, and another column, div dot col -11. Since we have created column 1, we need to create column 11. Here we need a form. So let's save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh, we will see user image and form. Let's add the image, and user image will use img tag, and then images slash user.png, user full name, and we need to give style height, custom height. For custom height, we will give height of 30 pixels, height of 30 pixel. Let's save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh, it looks nice. And we also need to add spacing in this form. For that I will go to card, here in card, margin bottom 3, save it. Let's go back to browser, and if I refresh, we have nice space. Now we need to add a form. For that, first here we need to add form action hashtag, for now dummy link, and then we need text area name will be add post, and then after that we need to add drop down to select the topics. So let's go to our cards or the Bootstrap documentation, and if we go for in form, we need to add select, and then here we can use this one. So I'll just click on copy to clipboard, and let's go back to our code, and here I will paste it, and we need to give area label device select exam. We'll call it select a topic, and here also in selected we will use select or topic, and then instead of 1 2 3, what we can do is sports, music, travel, and a lot of other things. We can add others as well, and what we can do, let's for this we'll give a value of 0, and we also need to give a name. It is really important while we make it dynamic using programming language like PHP. For name I'll get topic, and when we save it and go back to browser, if I refresh, we have text area and select a topic option, and when we click we have drop down. After that we also need to add an option. I think we have an option to make it smaller, so if I go to documentation sizing, here we have a smaller option. So form select SM, form select and form select SM. Let's go to our code and form select, and then form select dash SM. Let's save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh, it is smaller. And let's add a class for text area as well. So text area class form control, save it. Let's go back to browser and refresh. We have nice text area. Let's add placeholder. So let's add a placeholder. Share your thoughts 3 dot, save it, go back to browser. If I refresh, share your thoughts, when I type it goes away. Now we need to add margin after the text area, so let's go and add that. So in class margin bottom MB, let's give 2, refresh, go back to browser, and if I refresh, it's okay. Now after that, let's also add a input type to upload an image, so that some user can upload image as well. So after the select, let's add input type file, and name will be post image, and that's it. Let's save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh, we have a button to select the image. Now we can also give some class to it. So let's give a class form dash control should work, and if I refresh, it works. Sorry, I press Ctrl and S. So similar to select topic, let's give form control. I think form control SM works or not, I don't know. I will just try. Okay, form control SM, save, go back to browser, refresh, it works. It's smaller now, but we need to add margin after select topic as well. So in select topic in class, let's add MB2. Similarly, we also need to add class on input type, so margin bottom to MB2. Okay, let's save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh, that's it. Now all we need is to add a submit button. For that, after the input type file, let's add another input type will be submit, and name will also be submit, and value, let's call it add post. Okay, so let's save it, go back to browser, and if I refresh, now we are add post, but let's make it more beautiful as well. So we'll add class for it as well. So it will be let's say, what will happen if I add form control and save it and go back to browser. It's beautiful and big add post button. Now what we can, since the website is on green theme, we can give it a class of button success, and class form control btn dash success, and not outline. This is the main button, so we can give it btn success. Let's save it, and if I refresh, this looks beautiful. Now here, this is the main button. Since this were the secondary button, I just added the btn outline, but this is the main button, so that's why I added btn success. And let's make this button smaller as well. These are a little bit bigger. So what we can do is, if we go down here in button and btn outline, we can call it btn -sm, and similarly in other ones, btn outline success, btn SM. Let's save it and go back to browser. There is smaller. You can see this one is smaller, this one is smaller, this one and this one is smaller, not this one. So hope you will also just try to make everyone's smaller, everyone's button is smaller, BTN SM. And before that, where is the first one? This is the first one. I will make this one BTN small, and SM, that's SM. Save it. Let's go back to browser. This one is also small, this one is also smaller. So that's it. Hope you will also make this one also smaller. Okay, so this is a really beautiful design. We have created a really beautiful design.
To make a course like this, it takes days of work on research, planning, recording, editing, and publishing it for free. So if you are enjoying this course, then consider buying me a cup of coffee or making a donation. It helps this channel to create more free content like this. Now let's go back to our course.
Now let's check how responsive our website design is. Out of the box, Bootstrap is already responsive. We don't need to add extra CSS to make it responsive. If you remember, in our previous HTML CSS course, we had to add a media query and specify the breakpoint to make it responsive, but we don't need to do that in Bootstrap. It is already responsive. So I will minimize the screen size and we will see how responsive it is. Okay, so if it's a really good responsive design, then we should see these three columns stacked one after another. So first we should see the profile card, and then we should see feed section, and after that we should see who to follow and trending post section, and at the end we should see footer section. Okay, so I'll just minimize this browser to smaller size, and as soon as you decrease the size, if when you go to the smaller screen size, then you can see here, you can see the profile at the top, and even the navigation bar is already responsive. You can see menu, or you can see logo on the left, and here it has already begun a responsive navigation menu or navigation button. So when I click on this, then you can see all the options or all the menu: home, about, pages, and contact, search bar, and profile option. So profile option is even a responsive. You can go and explore other options for profile, and if I click this, it will hide. And as we expected, the profile section is at the top. So we have the profile card, about the user, user's profile image, full name, job description, and then some description, short description about the user, and post, followers, following, interested topic, view profile, and after that we have our share thought or add post section. I think we need to add some margin after this user profile, so we'll add the margin in profile section. And as you can see, this is responsive. And after that we have feed, so users image, name, and job, and then description, image, comment section. And though they are in different columns, they are not stacked one after another, or publish date is not coming after comment section. And similar to this one, these are two different columns. This one is column 1, and this one is column 11. So total 12 column, as we discussed about the grid layout of Bootstrap, but they are not stacked one after another. Can you say why is that? So similarly, if we go down here, same thing for everyone, even who to follow. They are 3 columns, but they are not stacked one after another. They are on same row. So after that we have trending post, and at the bottom we have footer. So can you tell why they are not responsive? They are not one after another like our 3 different columns over here. So they are also 3 different column, and this one is also 3 different column. But these bigger cards are stacked one after another, but they are not. They are same in all the design, whether it's in big screen or small screen. Do you know why it is? If you know, then please let me know in the comment below. Okay, I'm really glad you understood you did the research on Bootstrap grid layout and you understand the concept of Bootstrap responsive design. Those who commented below, and for those who do not know about the reason behind not responsive for this one but responsive for bigger cards, is because if we check our code, I will go back to our code, and if you check the code for our bigger columns, we have specified the breakpoint MD, like col MD3 for first one, col MD6 for the middle one, and col MD3 for the last one. So this is the first one, col MD3, col MD6, and col MD3. So we have already specified the breakpoint to be medium. But in case of our smaller breakpoint, like in our who to follow section, let's check the who to follow section. Okay, so if I go to who to follow section, which is on last section, this one, if I go here and if I go to who to follow section, here in who to follow section, if we see, we have row, we have columns, we have column of 2, column 8, column 2, but we have not specified the breakpoint. Okay, so that's why it is not stacking one after another, but our bigger columns are stacking one after another, or in other way, the bigger column are responsive but these smaller columns are not responsive. Okay, so if we go to our feed section as well, let's go and see. For form, we have specified in add post section, we have specified the column 1, column 11, but we have not specified the breakpoint like col MD, LG, SM, etc. Okay, so if we go and check the Bootstrap documentation once again, so in layout, here we have breakpoint. So here small, medium, LG, XL, and XXL. Okay, so if we specify the breakpoint, then it will be responsive, but if we do not specify the breakpoint, then it will not be responsive. So keep in mind that, and it will be really helpful to make a responsive website design with using Bootstrap as well. Here is the screen size where it will work. For example, extra small is 576, but it is not available, only available up to small, which is 576. In MD, we have specified for MD 768. In the previous course where we designed restaurant template as well as personal portfolio website, we have specified it manually using media query, where we specify the screen size and work on that, but Bootstrap is already responsive. So that's it. Now let's add the margin at profile card, because when we see here, it's sticking the add profile section and profile and add post section. So I'll go and add the margin on profile section. So this is col MD3 and card. In card, div class card, you can either add on col MD3 or card, but I will add on card. So margin bottom MB3, I will add margin bottom 3. Let's save it, go back to our browser, and if I refresh, so we have nice beautiful space over here. Okay, so that's how you can add margin. So that's it. So I just noticed that our user profile section along with search bar in our navigation is not aligned properly. It should have been over here because the end of the container is here. So let's fix this, so that I will go to our code. So let's go back to the top of our navigation section where our user profile is. So here is our user profile, and if we look at the code, here we have ME auto, which means margin at end, which is margin on the right is auto. So that might be causing the problem, so I'll just remove it, and let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S or Command and S on Mac, and let's go back to the browser. And if I refresh it, now it's fixed. Now our profile section along with search bar is aligning properly as expected. So if we go and read the code, so what happened is, in our since we copied this code from the navigation section over here, and if we look at the design, The navigation section itself is aligned on the left, so it had a margin at the end, which is margin at the right side. So that was causing the problem. Since we removed the margin from our user profile section, it's fixed. So that's it. I know I have not completed all the component of Bootstrap, but I have tried to add some. So there are a lot of other components like accordions, alerts, badges, breadcrumb, carousels, and a lot of more these things. So please go through the documentation and try to use this component in your next or other web pages for this app or on new web app. Next, we will convert this design into fully functioning web application using PHP programming language in object-oriented pattern with MySQL database. So if you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on next video.